They are lying about Ellen Greenberg's suicide. Today is October 13th, 2025, and the medical coroner just examined her again and said it was a suicide once again. You guys aren't familiar with her story. She was out in a blizzard and got stabbed in the back like 20 times. How is that a suicide? After going out in the blizzard, she came back to the apartment and her fiance, Sam Goldberg, found her dead. She was stabbed 20 times in the neck and the back and had 11 bruises all over her body, and the knife was found protruding from her chest. How do you call that a suicide? And you know what's fishy about this case and why I think police are in it in Philadelphia? Because in 2011, the medical examiner said that her death was ruled a homicide. After meeting with Philadelphia police, all of a sudden, they switched it to a suicide. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when they change a death from a homicide to a suicide, there's no investigation. You can't investigate a suicide because it was self-inflicted. And I think that somebody in the police department was involved because there's just no possible way this girl could stab herself 20 to 30 times in all these different places, and they say it's a suicide. A forensic pathologist said her death was not a suicide, and a neurologist looked at her and said they believe that she was strangled. So why is this medical examiner saying it's a suicide if that's the case? There were 167,000 signatures to reopen this case, and her parents have been fighting tooth and nail to get an answer since 2011. It's been 14 long years for them just for this to be covered up. And this is a cover-up. It should be noted too, the assistant medical examiner said that she believed that her death was not a suicide. However, the chief medical examiner and the last call in all these cases said, no, we're going to keep this a suicide. So we have 3 doctors saying, no, it is not a suicide, and 1 saying, yes, it is. But the last one is the one that has the most power here. Ellen Greenberg and her fiance were not in a toxic relationship, and no DNA of his was found on the knife or anywhere near the crime scene, by the way. So we can rule out her fiance. I think somebody in the police department or somebody associated with the police department did this. Because why else would it change from a homicide to a suicide right after meeting with the police? You guys agree or disagree with what I'm saying here? Let me know in the comments.